Good morning and welcome to Sunday Live with Silvia. Coming live to you from beautiful Eastbourne by the sea, where we're having April showers over the last few days. They come and then the sun shines and then they go, and it's all good fun. So I'm going to be drinking my cup of coffee from my cup of stars this morning, which is going to be nice. And it reminds me to add always some extra stardust to make this into a wonderful sprinkling brew that mind, body, and spirit can all enjoy on their own special level. Good morning, Julie. And good morning, Wendy. And Renata, good morning. Lovely, lovely, beautiful, starry beings, starry ladies joining me here this morning. How are you guys? How are you? How are you holding up in the current insanity? Happy Sunday, says Renata to everyone. Yeah, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It's May the 3rd today. It's Alex's birthday tomorrow. If you want to remember Alex's birthday, then you can just remember May the 4th be with you. Good morning, Elsinora. Hello. Hello, guys. It's lovely to be here with you on the Sunday morning. And, raise a toast if you have a drink to hand to having a great Sunday and a wonderful new week ahead, which has the opportunity for much learning, for breakthrough insights, for good physical sensations, and all sorts of other wonderful things that we can enjoy while we are alive on this great planet of ours. Cheers. Yeah, so the theme that I wanted to get into. Helen. Good morning, Helen. We have, I've got the plant symbol today. Plant and miracle, the miracle of nature. It's a wonderful thing. Good morning, Dee and Lorna and Ilka. Hello, Ilka. A star cup. Yes, indeed. A cup of stars. Isn't that awesome? Such a wonderful, wonderful thing. Cheers. Oh, this is nice. Renata says, feeling invigorated by Star Matrix this week. Looking forward to learning more on this planet. Yes, absolutely. There is still much to discover and many delights to unlock. Wonderful, wonderful delights that we are yet to discover. And I'm looking forward to that. I was actually, started the other way around. Let's start it the other way around. My topic today was, or is, or will be, as soon as I start talking about it, isolation exhaustion, which is quite interesting. Yes. Helen says, I've been experiencing some frustration and lack of direction. Yes, and that is exactly it. Good morning, Sevgi. That's exactly it, this lack of direction. This is isolation exhaustion. And a lot of people have written to me about it and told me about it also, that they're just finding it really hard to motivate themselves, that they find it really hard to do anything motivational that they knew would be good to them, so that they sort of started off the isolation with lots and lots of, I can do personal development, I can write a book, I can clear out the garden, all the rest of it, and that they've sort of that they run out of steam. They feel as though they run out of steam, and that's really not surprising when we think about it. It's a combination of all these things that affect the energy body. Whether you're cooped up with somebody all the time, or whether you're cooped up without anybody all the time. It's very difficult for the energy system. And there's some other interesting, this energy body exhaustion. This has other side effects as well. It's like you can't sleep properly, or when you're sleeping, you're dreaming weird stuff, and when you wake up, you're not really refreshed. It sort of all feeds into this exhaustion. Yeah, isolation exhaustion is what I call it. And I've seen this also with the members in my art group. They were all doing really well up until a point, and they've just lost this energy to go ahead and do the things that would actually re-energize you, which is the catch 22 of these sort of long-term long-term chronic energy body stress. And you can't get out of it. We are all connected on some level, and the whole world is so stressed. Your neighbors are stressed, the people everywhere are stressed, and it's really quite difficult to not be affected by that at all. So I've been thinking to ourselves, well, what can we do about isolation exhaustion? Well, we can look at it as something that, first of all, it's not a reflection on that you're not a strong person or that you're not doing enough spiritual work or anything like that. Last thing you need when you're knackered is somebody else telling you should be working harder. This is not at all what we want. Not at all what we want. Irene said, good morning, Irene. There are people who live like this all the time and thrive in their creativity. Yes, in exhaustion. But it's okay. See, look, Irene, this is it. If you are used to this, it's normal. I mean, I'm pretty used to it myself, of being exhausted all the time. I've always lived with that. I know how to handle that. But people who are normally really up and active and doing all these things, for them, this is like a whole new world they find themselves in, and they don't have any kind of they don't have any kind of established methods to be dealing with this. Like, I made a joke at the beginning of this that a lot of the preppers, these are the people who live in the forest and store tin cans and toilet paper for the zombie apocalypse, that a lot of them must have died from sheer smugness and shouting, "I told you so," until they keeled over of a heart attack or a stroke. And I kind of feel to myself that I've been saying this for decades, that there are certain things that people should know how to do, sanctuary being one of them, that when the shit hits the fan, that you've got something to do, something that can help you. But people are busy in their own lives, and especially if they're normally really active and they have an active social life and lots of interests and hobbies and so on and so on and so on, they just haven't learned the coping mechanisms that somebody who's, kind of used to feeling exhausted by people all the time and living in isolation normally has created for themselves. So I've been thinking, what can we do to help normal people with isolation exhaustion? And really, I think the key to this is, and I think this is the key, is to make sure that you follow some positive people on your social media stream, and that you actively make that decision of giving yourself a holiday from the news stress, from people who are shouting about coronavirus all the time in some shape or form, to just give yourself a holiday and do something, and do that deliberately, really deliberately. I think that is super important, to just make that decision, to that from that place of understanding, is that what we need more is more energy. We need positive energy. Positive energy is like saying positive money. You just need money. In other words, you just need energy, and not something that takes your money away or that drains your energy away. So yeah, that would be my first good advice would be to hang out with positive people Watch positive things. If you're watching Netflix, don't watch apocalyptic stuff, and just start with that. That would be a good start, I think. Deeg said, I delete any negative posts in my newsfeed. Cannot tolerate it. Yeah, very good. I mean, yes, absolutely. This is a really good thing because, we need our energy for other things. And particularly if we are caring for people, or we are with people that we are responsible for, children and partners and such, um, we need to spend our energy wisely, shall we say. We need to spend our energy wisely. And letting it be drained away by negative people and negative posts is just not the way forward at this time. When we feel better and stronger, we can return to that by all means. But in the meantime, choose your activities, choose your food, all from that sort of standpoint of, is this going to be increasing my energy levels, or is this going to be depleting my energy levels? And I think that's kind of important. Yeah, the whole star matrix thing, the positive memories. That's a really, really good idea. This is something to do to put that in the day, to remember some good things. Perhaps look through your photo album and remember some good times, and make a deliberate decision to be doing that as a part of the treatment for isolation exhaustion. Yeah, so here's Dr. Hartmann. Dr. Hartmann is giving good advice on spirit. Dr. Hartmann is giving good advice on how to combat isolation exhaustion. And that's so I was saying about my little starry cup here. I this is the cup of the stars, basically. That's its name. So if I want the cup of the stars and I want coffee, I will say to Martin, I would like some coffee in the cup of the stars, please. And he'll say, one coffee in the cup of stars coming right up. And he will pick this particular cup because it is known that this is the cup of stars. And this, in and of itself, that's cheerful. That brings a smile to your face. And it also then invites the drink inside to add some extra sparkles into that, some extra hopes and dreams. And because it's got these nice little stars on it, we can say, yeah, I want to add some today. I want to add some golden star power and some happy magical stardust and some other things. And really sort of actively, take a moment. Instead of meditating for an hour in the corner in cross-legged, this is a living meditation in your real life world. That takes only moments, and it's fun, and you can feel your own energy body come to life. And then when you drink it, it's of course extra good. And I've said this many times before. And I'm going to say it many times again. This is the sort of thing that if you build that into your life, it's going to help you. It's going to cheer you up. It's going to help your energy body stay with it, stay awake and sparkly and active. And that's sort of the moment when we can go forward and do things. Okay. Helen says, I'm using the time to try and understand dreams and explore sanctuary, for which I had never had the time before. Okay, that's a good thing. That's an excellent thing. And yeah, make sure you focus on good dreams, on using sanctuary for positive experience, really positive experiences. Make setup. Dear Energy Mind, take me to the perfect place in time and space where where my perfect place for rest and recreation, and to find my power and strength again, to really recharge me. I tell you what, I want to do that. I want to do that for everyone this morning. Okay, so let's do that. Assume the heart position, and we'll just say, good morning, dear Energy Mind. Hello. Dear Energy Mind, things have been a bit weird around here recently. I would like you to make for me a perfect habitat, the perfect place in time and space, where my energy body can find deepest relaxation, deepest recharging, deepest nourishment, deepest reconnection to the source of all. You can just say now with me, dear energy mind, take me to the perfect place in time and space for me right now. And we just do the classic game questions. In this perfect place, what is the time of day? Breathe in deeply. Breathe that time of day in, breathe in deeply. What is the time of year? So much energy, so much information in the time of year. What's the weather? And just take a moment to experience this weather through all your 6 senses. How you can see the weather, how you can hear the weather, how you can feel the weather on your living body, in your hair, how you can scent the weather, how the weather tastes in your mouth. And how this weather makes you feel inside. And if we really let that come in and soften and flow any negative places, any blockages, just let that weather flow through us. From the top of our heads down, out through the tip of our toes. The weather itself becomes wonderfully energizing. What is the surrounding? What is the landscape? Just take a moment. Close your eyes and leave your body there and just turn around and see the whole 360 view. So we get a sense of that landscape. And here again, let's just let that landscape flow in, through and out us. Just open to that landscape fully and completely. Your dear energy mind has created this land, this environment, this habitat for you. It is perfectly safe to do that and to really open yourself in a way that can't really be done in the heart to this sanctuary habitat, to really connect yourself with that energy. And what else is here? What is really important right now here in this habitat? What takes your attention, captures your fascination? And of course, now here our stories become our stories. Every person has their own habitat. Every person has their own weather, their own land, and every person has their own something that captures their imagination. This sanctuary habitat is a place that you can, and I wish you would, visit many times and explore it further. The best time to be doing that is just about before you go to sleep at night. So that we're going to sleep not from a crazy world infected with coronavirus and fear of futures and all sorts of craziness. But we're going to sleep from this perfect habitat. Go into your habitat, find a perfect place for you to snuggle down and go to sleep in, and then do that. Go ahead and do that. That's going to give your energy body an entry to a different kind of sleep. It's a different entry into sleep. It's more empowered. It's extremely healing. It's wonderfully good for you. If the worries come back and you bounce out of the habitat, just go back in and say, oh, where was I? Oh, yeah, I was just about to unfold this colorful quilt on the bed in the habitat. And yeah, I was just about to do that when next door neighbor's dog barked and knocked me out of it. So we're going back to where we started and we're doing that. And where was I? And the other question that takes the whole story forward is what happens next? Well, what happens next is we fluff the pillows and then we might, well, so this is something that I think is really fundamentally important to combat isolation exhaustion or any kind of long-term mental, emotional, energy body exhaustion, which is what we're dealing with here. This is exactly what we're dealing with here. It's that the energy body is just getting tired and worn out. And by transferring our energy bodies into a beautiful habitat, you can feel that in your body, how strengthening that is, how empowering that is. And as I say, especially before you go to sleep at night, it's very, very, very valuable indeed. Okay, right. So that was my thing that I wanted to say. I think the ability to get into sanctuary and to have real experiences there that you can feel in your own body, that produces emotions, that produces emotional reactions, that produces tingles and a sensation of feeling good and feeling light. That's a core skill that absolutely every person should learn how to do. It's a wonderful thing. It just gets better through time. It's the best thing ever. And it has saved my life in horrible situations where aspects were imprisoned, where aspects were completely overwhelmed with responsibilities and all sorts of things, and also with illness and all sorts of other things, and the illness of others and caring for others who were ill. It's been absolutely the fountain of my personal strength and my creativity. Always, 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 always. And I've always deeply been so, so sorry that I can't make normal people understand how precious and valuable that is to be able to do that, to be able to take yourself to the perfect place in time and space where you can find healing and inspiration and beauty and relationships and sex and all things that make your energy body wake up and sing and be happy and strong. I'm absolutely 100% convinced that without Sanctuary, I would have been dead over half a century ago. But with Sanctuary, I'm still here and I can write motivational speeches and do positive tapping and all sorts of things. And I can be strong for people who are, you know, finding this isolation thing really difficult and are getting exhausted with the mental and emotional work of it. So, yeah, okay, guys. Ilka said, oh, good morning, Hazel. Good morning. She's drinking coffee too. Great. Somebody said, what was that? Scientists have discovered what the black matter is that holds the universe together. Apparently, it's coffee. Right. Ilka says, so very cool and lovely. Thank you for this magical gift. I had a wonderful sanctuary. Yes, and I think for the people who are doing a lot of Project Sanctuary or Supermind and have got lots of different sanctuaries that are wonderful, to go back to the classic game and allow the energy mind to create something that is very specific for the needs your energy body has right here and now. I think that's really super important. That's super important. And to work on, no, not work on this sanctuary, but actually to visit this sanctuary and start doing things there, plant flowers, or I don't know, make the lake bigger if it's not big enough for your liking, to actually interact with it is just really, really good for us on oh so many more levels than I have words to tell you. Renata says, thank you, really beautiful sanctuary. Lorna says, sleep habitats are better than medication. Oh, completely. Sleep habitats are amazing. You know, if you have particular problems with sleeping, you can ask your dear energy mind to take you to the perfect sleep habitat. Get to sleep in tonight. This is what I have used extensively when I was completely super exhausted when traveling and giving lectures and things. I'm totally familiar with utter exhaustion, lived my whole life with it. And when you then have to put travel on top and spending 8 hours talking to people about energy tapping, it just comes to a absolute, oh my God. And the sleep habitats have totally saved my sanity time and time and time again. And thank you for reminding me. This is actually sort of a star moment. I was in Berlin once in this hideous hotel. Talk about geomagnetic geostress. Oh wow. God almighty. I don't know if that was built on a plague pit or something. It was awful. And I was so exhausted. And my dear energy mind gave me a sleep habitat, which was a four-poster bed that stood in a glacier lake with snow falling all around. And oh man, that was instant and so glorious, so healing, so homecoming, so wonderful. The sense of sheer gratitude to my dear energy mind for giving me that. It's wonderful. Had a fantastic night's sleep. Next day, got up, did the whole thing all over again, and kind of never looked back. It was beautiful. So I cannot recommend this highly enough. If I swooped up to the stars and held out a banner saying, Yay to Project Sanctuary. Oh, hello. Hello, Pearson. Hi there. Okay, guys. Um, I'm going to add one more thing here with the Project Sanctuary thing. So we have different kinds of wiring in our energy body, shall we call it? And among this wiring is something that I call the psychic circuitry. And in an ordinary Muppet life, that psychic circuitry does not get any exercise. It doesn't get exercised. It doesn't exist. It's forgotten. Nobody uses it. Nobody does anything with it. And this psychic circuitry kicks off particularly in puberty and in menopause. And as some among you know, that menopause can last a very long time indeed, and comes and goes in waves. And this circuitry, the psychic circuitry, generates psychic energy that needs some kind of outlet. And in an ordinary Muppet life, there is no outlet for that. And so this builds up, and then that causes massive disturbances in mind, body, and spirit. And it can't be solved with orgasms, which is fun, because a lot of energy problems in the energy body can be solved by simply having an orgasm on a regular basis. And, you know, entire Freudian psychotherapy is built on that idea. But what you need for the psychic circuitry is to release that energy somehow. And there's various ways of doing this. Creative people use art and writing stories, and they have an outlet for this. If you're an artist, then you have got an outlet for this build-up of this psychic circuitry. If you are not, and you've never even heard of anything like that, and you've been told that magic is just rubbish, or meditation is for fools, or all this baloney, then you have this thing, and you're thinking, well, what am I going to do with this? It's like I'm hungry, but I'm not for food. It's like I'm tired, but I can't get to sleep. It's like I want to do something, but I don't know what. What should I do? Paint the ceiling? No, that doesn't do it. What the hell is going on here? And what we got there is the psychic circuitry kicking up and wanting some sort of an expression. And if that gets really bad, then you even get so far as you get poltergeists in the house. If you got a teenager in the middle of that. But for all people, exercising the psychic circuitry and giving that an outlet, giving that built up of energy an outlet, is really much more important than they will ever know. And it's one of those things. But I thought, oh, sod it, I'm here and I'm chatting, so I'm just going to mention that. One of the things that we found was really useful for psychic circuitry was the soul pilots. So you can put that in a search engine and look it up. It's a Project Sanctuary, sort of an advanced Project Sanctuary supermind thing that works really well for releasing psychic circuitry. And yeah, that's again, if you have too much energy in your psychic circuitry, you probably can't get to sleep at night. So, try the orgasm first. If you still can't sleep, then it's the psychic circuitry that needs to do something. And something you can do then in Sanctuary, and soul piloting works particularly well for that. Okay, so that's as esoteric as I'm allowed to get on my own timeline at this point in space and time. It's not esoteric, it's very structural and practical. But people just, we us living in this so-called age of reason, my ass, where just all things spiritual and real have been just murdered, mullered, and we're left with this craziness. Let's just take good care of our energy bodies. That's the right way to go, I think. Haha. Helen says, psychic circuitry is of special interest to me, and I'm experiencing the menopause. There you go. Yeah, there you have it. It's just, it kicks off particularly during those, um, but also sort of other high hormonal states like during pregnancy and other things. And men have it too. Just because they don't have a menopause, they also have a puberty, and they have their own things going on in the energy systems, their own things trying to unfold. And yeah, learn more about your own energy body. That's my best advice ever. Okay, righty ho, guys. We've been here for 32 minutes. That's wonderful. If you like, join me in another toast here with our magical cup of stars, or whatever it is that you have. Make sure that your cup has a name, or your glass has a name. So it becomes an entity, so it can serve you better. Hello, cup of stars. Hello, Silvia. Cool. Cheers to all things energy. Just because it's invisible doesn't mean it isn't horrendously real. Just because it's invisible doesn't mean it doesn't, steer our behaviors, operate our incarnations from the cradle to the grave. And just because it's energy doesn't mean it isn't the building, the foundation, the blueprint of existence itself. So, yay. Join me in a toast. Yay to energy. We love energy. Woohoo. Bills and nine. No, I'm not going to do Sylvia Live at the moment in German, because there's just not enough people who have an interest in that. When there's a few more, we'll do Sylvia Live in German as well. And I look forward. When this is so. I will make some short videos about the most important sort of things for the German group, as and when they come across the event horizon. And I look forward to that. Okay, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Please do explore your sanctuaries further that you've discovered today, your special isolation remedy sanctuaries. There may be magic plants, there may be treasures and riches that will help you in your particular situation, which are all different for every one of us. That can really, help you, inspire you, give you strength, give you solace, give you hope, give you a great place to start to sleep and dream better dreams, and generally speaking, help you in this beautiful way that we human beings have, where we can transfer our consciousness to the perfect place in time and space and be happy there. and completely regardless of what horrible things happen around us in the heart, as it were. Thank you very much, Ilka. I love you too, and I wish you all a blessed Sunday and a wonderfully fascinating, interesting, and enlivening new week to come. And I'll see you for those of you who are doing this, Power of the Positives, part 7 tomorrow at 10, right here on this channel. And failing that, I will see you again next week for Silvia Sunday Live at 10. Lots of love to you. And be the shining, radiant being that you were born to be. Bye.